Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? My name is SpectrumDominus, and I'll be taking you through the 2017 WWE Backlash from, I'm going to start this one over. I don't want to say Blacklash. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today? My name is SpectrumDominus, and I'm going to be taking you through 2017 WWE Backlash as we do the prediction show for the SmackDown Live pay-per-view coming up in just 48 hours. I am doing my prediction show live on my Twitch stream. You can come join us every Friday night here on Twitch. We do a lot of wrestling content. We do it all the time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. But Friday we do our wrestling smorgasbord where we open up packs of cards and loot boxes. And when there's a pay-per-view, we also do a prediction show. So I'm going to do that for you right now for Backlash, which is just coming up this weekend. We're using the Wikipedia document to tell us the match list. I use this every time. The reason why is because I have I have never found a match to be on the Wikipedia document that wasn't on the pay-per-view. Inversely, I have found matches on the Wikipedia document that I did not know about, and those matches were on the pay-per-view. So by using the Wikipedia document, I was able to predict those matches as well, and thus get a leg up on some other prediction shows out there that don't predict things. For example, Backlash 2017, they have a pre-show match between Ty Dillinger and Aiden English that I knew nothing about. Several people, I have watched several prediction shows, didn't predict this match because apparently they also knew nothing about this match. So it does help. I like to use the Wikipedia page to do that. So, props to Wikipedia. So here we go. Guys, I just want to let you know that in most cases when I do this, I'm going to give you a definitive answer of who I'm choosing. However, a lot of times the thing about WWE is, because of its predetermined nature, because of the storyline writing aspect of it, anyone can win any match. Any match can be written for someone to win, and then they can just adjust it on the show in storyline. I like to allude to the WrestleMania match between Shane McMahon and Undertaker. Undertaker can win the match, and Shane McMahon can still run Raw the next night. It happens, and they just have to write it that way. So I'm never going to be 100% right. I'm giving you either what I think is going to happen or what I wish would happen if they followed my thought process. And I'll always let you know with those matches how I'm thinking and which one of those I'm going with. So to start out, the pre-show match is pretty straightforward. Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. Now, when Simon Gotch left, there was a lot of rumors that there was a singles push coming for Aiden English. Since then, we've seen him job out to 3 or 4 different people and then get shamed backstage by Chris Jericho for crying. I don't believe this is a good build-up for a singles push, and thus I do think that this is just another Ty Dillinger squash. I hope that this isn't a Dillinger loss, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to have it be a Dillinger win by disqualification because Aiden gets frustrated and picks up a chair and beats him up and starts some kind of a program. Because an Aiden English match where he just loses to Ty Dillinger again doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help Ty even. So I'm not sure I care if this is a straight up match and Dillinger wins in a squash match. Then I don't really care about the match. So I hope there's something, they do something to spice it up a little. That being said, I do think Dillinger wins the match. That is my pick. The next match is Harper versus Rowan. Eric Harper versus Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan, the two former Wyatt family members. Again, this is another one I was not unaware of. Now, they may have announced it on SmackDown, and if they did, I must have been getting a drink of water or something. But I saw the match between them 2 weeks ago. Eric Rowan poked Harper in the eye and got a pin, which I was very shocked by. because of that, unless Eric Rowan is starting his own family now, and all of a sudden out of the woodworks crawl new people to be Eric Rowan's lackeys, this is a Luke Harper win. He's just this is the case of the 50-50 booking. They gave Rowan the win on the show. Harper gets the win on the pay-per-view. I don't think anything's going to really come of this. They've had them fight before. In fact, Harper, when he turned, when they left before, and Harper was the heel and Rowan was the face, and Harper was the Intercontinental Champion, like, they each had one feud besides each other. They feuded each other and one feud that wasn't each other. But it's like these guys can only face each other for some reason, and they really need to get away from this. They really, really need to get away from this. This, to me, is a Harper win, and hopefully that's the end. Next, we have Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn. This is kind of the battle of the badly booked. Baron Corbin, when they split the rosters, Baron Corbin was on the fast track. Everything was going well. They had him head towards main event. He and Bray Wyatt were the top heels on the card. It just looked like he was going to potentially win the World Championship by the end of his first year on SmackDown. Then the Elimination Chamber happened, and everything kind of got derailed. He was quickly rolled up by Dean Ambrose. They thought that made him look strong because he didn't get beat. He got a sneaking win. Got into a program with Dean Ambrose, which he ended up losing. Bray Wyatt moves over to the other show, which should potentially give him a boost, except they bring over Kevin Owens, who's a bigger heel, and then they kind of propel Jinder past him. So Baron Corbin everything was going right for him, and then it's just kind of, he got derailed. Sammy, on the other hand, nothing has ever gone right for Sammy. They didn't book him right before the brand splits. They didn't book him right after the brand split, and they haven't booked him right since they brought him over. First thing he did when he came over was fought Kevin Owens. It just baffles me that's all they have in there. That's their go-to thing is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. So then finally, because of the whole Kevin Owens thing, because of everyone wanting Kevin Owens' title, which is weird because why doesn't everyone want Randy Orton's title? They set up this thing between Baron Corbin and Sammy. It seemed very shoddily thrown together. It seems very... I mean, it's been going for 3 weeks, but it feels like they've had a total of 10 minutes time building the story. There's just no real build up to it. And to be honest with you, a win doesn't help either of them. I mean, I can see them giving Sammy this win. But just safe. If I'm making the safe bet, if I'm making the safe pick here, Baron Corbin wins. Your world champion is a face, so build up your heels. Your best heel is the U.S. champion, so he's probably not going for the title. Build up Baron Corbin and let us have a Randy Orton Baron Corbin program. Problem with that is we just saw Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin twice in the last couple months, and Randy beat him both times. So that's a mistake too. So that almost tells me that they're not going that route. If you go Sami Zayn, then Sami gets a win on Baron Corbin, and maybe you're going Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens for the U.S. title, and then Sami finally gets his win over Owens, although he's already finally got his win over Owens. It's just this is such a match that I want to see the match. I like them both as wrestlers. I'm going to put my check mark next to Baron Corbin because it's the safe bet. But I'm talking 55-45 Baron over Sammy. This really could go either way. Maybe we said it when they moved him over to SmackDown. Now it's Sammy's time. They can finally use him right. Maybe this is his chance to use Sammy right, and he starts by beating Baron Corbin here, which, like I said, has been badly booked, so it could happen. The next match is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. That is a squash. Nakamura will kill Ziggler. The end. The match above that is the Welcoming Committee versus NBC, as we're calling them in stream. Naomi, Becky, and Charlotte. They are... This one is interesting because it's been done a million times, guys. We've seen it where the Bellas and Alicia Fox are fighting PCB or the Submission Sorority or whatever they were. And Charlotte pins Nikki twice in singles matches beforehand, and then the Bellas and Alicia Fox get the win in the six-man tag, or it's all over the place. A lot of times my natural reaction is to say Carmella is going to win and she's going to pin Naomi, and that will give Carmella another pin over the champion, and thus Carmella is named the number one contender for the title. That is the natural reaction to this match. That being said, every time I feel that way about one of these matches, they completely throw it the other way, and it ends up being that Becky Lynch gets a pin on Tamina or something like that. And I'm like, who did that help? What storyline did that create? I never know what they're doing with these. Because I have to pick, I am going to say that the Welcoming Committee wins. Carmella pins Naomi. They may go with something like Natalya pins Naomi, and now they set up a triple threat match, Natalya, Carmella, and Naomi for the title. Maybe. But the Welcoming Committee gets the win here, I guess. Wouldn't be surprised if it happens because of James Ellsworth. But most likely he's just going to be comedy relief at the ringside to get thrown out of the match. Kevin Owens is facing AJ Styles in defense of his U.S. Championship title. I have a lot of feelings about this. First of all, Kevin Owens, let's start with Kevin Owens and his longtime Universal title reign. Kevin Owens is the longest reigning Universal champion. He drops his title and instantly picks up the U.S. title. And now he's had the title for a couple months, but also dropped it once to Jericho for one night. For one night. Dropped it to Jericho for one night. And I don't feel that taking the belt off him here is a good thing. Now, one could argue, and I mentioned it earlier in this same video, that you can take the belt off Owens to push him up into the main event for after Jinder. When Jinder is done with Orton, Orton can fight Owens for the world belt, the WWE Championship, and AJ can use the US belt and fight other people, helping bring prestige to the US belt like John Cena did. I see the theory. But taking the belt off of the Owens as a Universal Champion just to put a US belt on him, to have it taken away 2 months later, really makes Owens look weak to me. Taking the belt off of AJ Styles to downgrade him to the US belt really makes AJ look kind of weak to me. I think that is a mistake. I think Owens has to keep the title here. Now, I don't know if this is... And I don't have the storyline for you, because this is the perfect place for someone to come and screw over AJ, someone to come and help out Owens for no reason, someone to come do something. Unfortunately, there is nothing built. We don't have the club on the show. We don't have Finn Balor out from injury anymore. We don't have anything to come in here and help. One has argued that Adam Cole has signed with the WWE. Maybe he makes his Backlash appearance helping out former club member but not member, but who was kicked out the same way he was. I don't think WWE goes into that. I really don't think they go into that level of detail into the club storyline. I think that Kevin Owens somehow retains the title, he may get himself disqualified. This may be the I get myself disqualified to keep the title situation, because I just can't see how they let Owens beat Styles cleanly, and I don't see them putting the belt on Styles. That's just me. Next we have the Usos defending against Breezango and Fandango. Now, I'm going to skip over this one and come back to this, but I'm going to skip over it by saying Breezango is winning the tag team belts. All right? Now I'm going to go to the top here. Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal. Now, the reason I jump past the previous one is because this. The joke in my chat, and I believe they've gotten it off of, other videos, and it's probably out there in the internet universe, and I just haven't heard it anywhere but my chat, is that this is the jobber pay-per-view. You took a jobber, a guy who hasn't won a match pretty much ever, and gave him one win and put him in the main event of a pay-per-view. Then you took two guys, Breezango, who may have a total of 2 wins ever, and gave them a win in a number one contender match and put them in a pay-per-view for the titles. So the joke is, well, they don't really want to do anything. They put some jobbers, the titles stay the same, and thus, we move on going forward. Let's look towards Money in the Bank. That's what we really care about. We're not going to change any of the titles, so let's give some of these jobbers a match. All right? So I understand that thinking, and I agree that that's the most logical thinking and potentially right. The Usos keep the titles, Randy Orton keeps the title. However, Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal. There is a chance. I'm never going to say there's not a chance. I started the video off by saying any of these can go any way. They can give Jinder Mahal the title tonight. It can happen. I don't believe it's going to happen. So, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I think is going to happen. I'm going to tell you exactly what should happen. Randy Orton should either, the Singh brothers should interfere so much that Randy gets frustrated and gets himself disqualified, beating everyone up. He grabs a chair and he hits the Singh brothers and he hits Jinder, and Randy gets himself disqualified. Now, I'm going to just preface this by saying, do not do this if you also have Kevin Owens do it in the U.S. title match. Cannot do it in both matches. But Randy does that and gets himself disqualified, so Jinder Mahal wins the match but doesn't win the title. The other option would be Randy Orton wins the match, and then Jinder, frustrated, beats him to a bloody pulp after the match, and not bloody because it's PG, but beats him down hard after the match. Thus, now Randy wants to fight Jinder because of personal reasons, not just because he's the number one contender. Either way, you make sure that Jinder gets another shot at the title at Money in the Bank versus Randy, who is the champion still coming out of the pay-per-view. That is how they should do it. And then at Money in the Bank, Jinder should win the title. Jinder needs another month of winning matches and build up before he wins that title. You have him winning a number one contender match, and then you have him beating like Sami Zayn and getting the pin over Randy Orton in tag team matches, but you haven't built him up enough to be credible. If you have him get himself another match and have him beat AJ Styles, which he did with help, but beat AJ Styles, beat people like AJ Styles and Sami Zayn, and have him keep winning over the course of the month and make him more credible, and then have him win at Money in the Bank, I think that is the better way to go. Do I think that Jinder should have the title? I 100%, I 120% believe Jinder should have the title. Jinder is a very good worker, and I'd love to go and show my viewers. I'm going to go to the Wrestling with Regret page and show him a Brian Zane video. And he said that his viewers and a lot of the people say that Jinder Mahal is not a good in-ring worker. And mostly they allude to the elbow where Finn Balor got injured and got the concussion, the minor concussion. And Brian Zane said, So I took that and I analyzed it myself. And aside from that one moment, I see nothing at all that lends itself to saying that Jinder Mahal is not a good worker and is a dangerous worker in any way. He has done everything that he could and should do in that ring, and I agree. I found nothing. Now I haven't done the research he has, but I haven't noticed anything aside from that elbow. And since that time, more importantly, and I trust Brian Zane's analysis on that. Furthermore, I think that right now Jinder is doing an amazing job on the mic. Jinder looks great with his little stable with the Singh brothers, and I think that from a business standpoint, putting the belt on Jinder is great for the India market. So all these things, because I talk about it on my stream often, the number one most important thing in wrestling, and you guys hate to hear this, but the number one most important thing is what's going to make the WWE money. There is nothing more important than that. So that is why Jinder should win the title, but he should not do it until Money in the Bank. They need to give him a little more time. So either Randy wins by disqualification, or he wins by or either Jinder wins by disqualification, or Randy wins by disqualification and or gets beat down afterwards. But they need to make sure Jinder gets another shot so that he can win the title. That's how I feel about it. But my little check marks next to Randy Orton, we're just going to say a Randy win. I don't care how that goes. If it's a Jinder win by disqualification, it equals the same to me. So let's go a step down at another one back to the Usos versus Breezango, and why Breezango are winning the tag team titles here, the WWE SmackDown tag team titles. And I'm going to allude again to the previous pay-per-view. Alexa Bliss is not going to beat Bayley for the title. Bayley just won the title. She's not going to lose it to Alexa Bliss. I mean, she only had it a couple months, and Alexa Bliss is just someone they're feeding to her. Kevin Owens is not going to lose the title to Jericho. He's leaving. He's not going to be on SmackDown the next night. So, obviously, Jericho's losing. They love to set you up for that, especially lately, and then give you the one that you don't expect. So, yes, Breezango is not expected to win. The Usos have a really good gimmick going with their heel stuff. It's the best the Usos have ever been. But you don't put two jobbers in place, Mahal and Breezango, and then let them both lose. I really feel that the smart move is to throw the curveball into the Uso match and let Breezango take it, especially with the kind of reaction they have received with the Fashion Files segments. That is great, and I think the addition of the tag team titles around their waist in those segments just adds to it. So I'm giving Breezango that win and Randy retaining his title. Overall, I have one title changing, and that is the tag team titles. I think Kevin Owens holds on to his. I think Randy Orton holds on to his. Tell me what you think in the box down below, in the comments down below. Make sure you check out the comments, the description for the Twitch page where we film these live, twitch.tv/SpectrumDominus. There's also a link to my NXT TakeOver Chicago prediction video. Check that out as well. Stop by my Twitch channel, throw me a follow. It costs you nothing and it makes us very happy. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. We do this every month and live on our channel and post the videos to YouTube. So we'll see you next month for the WWE Extreme Rules Raw pay-per-view. Take care, guys. Have a good night.